What's up, friends? Welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, a little social commentary here and there, whatever the day calls for. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here, I will subscribe to you as well. I'm all about supporting up-and-comers on here. I did not think I was going to get to this weekend, but I managed to listen to and get a album review together for the brand new, extremely lengthy Dance Gavin Dance album, Jackpot Juicer. We got 18 tracks here, over an hour long. They've never done anything quite this lengthy before. I've reviewed 4 of the 5 songs that have been put out prior to this album's release, and I was quite a big fan of all of them. Great memorable hooks, all the members playing to their strengths. I just feel like this band, Mothership and onward, has really learned how to hone their craft in the best way possible. Super memorable songwriting. In between Instant Gratification and Mothership, something happened with Tillion's vocals where he just is so much more real with it now, so much more gruff with it now. He kind of came into this band kind of sounding like another Kellen Quinn, and it kind of took a while for me to warm up to him because of that. But once Mothership dropped, it was just all uphill from there. Like, I've been a big fan of this band for a long time, ever since the first Downtown Battle Mountain. Wasn't too big on the Kurt era. Downtown Battle Mountain 2 was really a turning point for these guys. They became more of just like this fun, summery kind of band, and it really, really worked for them. So here we are now in 2022 with Jackpot Juicer, and there's a lot of songs to go through here, so let's just get into them. The first track on here, Untitled 2, it's a sequel to Untitled 1 from the very first Downtown Battle Mountain album. It's all violin, and it just kind of does the same thing that it did for Untitled number 1. Just kind of a short little intro for the album. And it kicks into Cream of the Crop, a song that I've already heard before, and like I said, it was a great song, very upbeat, memorable hook, everybody playing to their strengths. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the songs I've already reviewed. If you want to know more in depth what I think of those particular songs, you can go on those videos, but just for the sake of keeping this not too long and how many songs are on this album, I'm going to kind of breeze through those. Like, number 3 is Synergy. Love that track. It might have been the best single prior to the album's release. And number 4, the first one that I hadn't heard before, was Holy Ghost Spirit. This was a pretty good song. It's hard to specify why or like talk too much about anything in particular that makes this song stand out. It really doesn't. It's just the band doing what they do best. But there's nothing super standout here. Some of the clean guitar passages remind me of Chon. But then things really pick up for number 5, For the Jeers. We break away from the norm a little bit on this one, and it makes for an incredible track that I was singing along to before I even got done hearing it for the first time. The vocals from Andrew are an amazing addition. He's an extremely, extremely good vocalist. And his vocals come in here and there all throughout this thing, and honestly I wish they came in a little bit more than they do, but when they do, it's such a good change of pace. The bridge has a bit of a Downtown Battle Mountain 2 feel to it, something real funky with some great parts from John Mess on this. Everything about this song was amazing. It was definitely a top track. Number 6, Ember. This song was the standard fare. I'd say Will is the star of the show on this one, but in an 18-track album, this one was good, but nothing too stand out. Number 7, Pop Off. This is another pre-released single, and man, is it good. Amazing hook. Everything about this is awesome. John Mess kills it. Everybody kills it. Pop Off is a top track. Number 8, One Man's Cringe. There's a really cool trade-off vocally between Tillion and Andrew in the bridge. Some very impressive scream singing from John Mess. It's a very vocal-centric track. Yeah, the drums are going off and the guitar noodling is doing the same what it does, but in this track, you're really gonna focus on the vocals. Number 9, Feels Bad Man. This was the 5th single that I did not hear prior to listening to this album, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for this one too much. Maybe it'll grow on me later, but it's my least favorite so far. The video is just kind of dumb. I just didn't really like anything too much about this song on the first listen, but Maybe that'll change later. I've had a lot of albums where I'll feel like a song is like a week song, and then I'm singing it a week later. So who knows? Number 10, Die Another Day. That track was released already. That was a really, really good single. It had one of the simplest breakdowns that Dance Gavin Dance has ever done, but it was done in such a great way. John Mess killed it on this song. Number 11, Two Secret Weapons. This track sounds more like something you'd hear on Tillion's solo albums, and it's pretty good. The second section is kind of a shoehorned in part of John overkilling the silliness and the vocal effects, and Will's signature noodling that doesn't really do anything for the song. This might have been better off just being a Tillion track. The second part was kind of dumb, but the first part was all right. Number 12, Polka Dot Dobbins. This was a very good track. Very good track. Engaging guitar work throughout. A lot of nostalgic, 2010s melodic hardcore guitar kind of licks that I enjoyed. Really nice breakdown in here that's a little bit heavier than what they typically do. I enjoyed this one and would rank it alongside the other singles that I spoke highly of. Like if they had released this one as a single too, I would have probably given it an 8 or a 9. It was very good. Number 13, Long Nights in Jail. On an 18-track album, this is definitely filler. Just more of the same with nothing remarkable really to report on this one. Number 14, Back on Deck. The song is a bit different rhythmically than what we typically hear from them, but in the scope of this album, it's just kind of there. It's not too bad. But things pick back up after these couple blah tracks with Current Events. This is an amazing track. The lyrics are very good and thought-provoking. John Mess actually offers something serious lyrically for once. Anybody that's familiar with this band knows that John Mess usually does some abstract and often lighthearted, comical kind of lyric things, but not here. Not here. Reading these lyrics, my mind goes to like retired Fox News grandpas who became established and stable in a much easier time to live, judging everyone else for not working hard enough. And that's definitely something that couldn't be more relevant in today's day and age. The music here is more memorable than it was in the last couple of songs. This is definitely an album pick me up. Awesome vocals from Andrew here. Those are always welcome. This is definitely a top track. Number 16, Pray to God for Your Mother. This is another great track. John Mess does some actual singing here, and it's amazing. Wouldn't mind hearing more of this from him in the future. It kind of comes off a little bit like a scream singing kind of thing that you're hearing Dave Stevens from We Came as Remnants do these days. I'm not going to say Architects. I'm done comparing Architects with other bands because, they're not the blueprint for scream singing anymore because they're just going into such a terrible direction. But John Mess, star of the show on this track, and it's a really, really good one. Number 17, Swallowed by Eternity. At 5 minutes, this is the album's longest track. And maybe it'll grow on me later, but it felt kind of fillerish, and I was expecting a bit more here, being that the song is as long as it is. And number 18, Have a Great Life. Pretty good way to close the album out. Compared to the closers of their last few albums, it's no Evaporate, but it's definitely better than Into the Sunset from their last album, Afterburner. For having Johnny Frank from Bill Murray as a guest on the closer of their last album, I found it really underwhelming because I thought Afterburner as a whole was really good. But this closer here, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, in closing, I will say I don't really think there's any profound reason for this album to be as long as it was. I don't see myself going back to listening to this whole thing in one setting too much unless I got it in the car and it's just playing through. Like, I thought, being that this was as long as it is, that maybe there's going to be a little bit more peaks and valleys in here, and it ended up being a lot of just kind of them doing what they do. It's still a great album to add to their discography, and I would definitely put it right alongside Artificial Selection and Afterburner. I would say, a lot of their albums, pretty much all their albums, aside from the Kurt era, which I don't really like too much at all, but all their albums pretty much have a couple missed tracks. The only album I would say from start to finish was just constant quality from start to finish with every single song is Mothership, which I would definitely still to this day consider their crowning achievement. This definitely does what I expect the Dance Gavin Dance album to do. Have a lot of strong songs, a couple weak ones here and there. Um, but I don't really see why this was as long as it was. But the top tracks of this album I would consider to be Synergy, For the Jeers was really, really good. Pop Off, Die Another Day, and Current Events. Really good tracks. Cream of the Crop, One Man's Cringe, Polka Dot Dobbins, Pray to God for Your Mother, and Have a Great Life. The filler tracks, I would say Ember, Holy Ghost Spirit, Two Secret Weapons, and Swallowed by Eternity. And the weak tracks that I think this album would have been better off without: Feels Bad Man, Long Nights in Jail, and Back on Deck. So all in all, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It was a good album. It's just really bloated. You know, this band is definitely suffering some hardships right now. You know, their bassist passed away. This is his last work with them. Before getting this solid lineup that they've had, they had tons of lineup changes throughout the years. And it was just so sad to see their bassist pass away after they kind of were at their peak right now. And now, you know, they're having these issues with Tillian. And, you know, I'm not going to go too much into that stuff, but all I'm going to say is the guy has recognized that he's made mistakes. Not all the facts of his case have come out. A lot of the hate you're seeing towards him online or from just keyboard warriors who, you know, they're trying to make it look like they're here to just protect women. No, you're not, bro. You just want to look good to women, you know? Like something similar to this happened with Bradley Walden of Emarosa. And I got no stock in that fight or defending him or anything like that, because I'm really not a big fan of the Bradley Walden era of Emarosa, but the allegations against him were proven to be false. And even though they have, you still got these soy boy Redditors saying that he's a piece of shit and that he's a abuser and a womanizer and all this stuff. And it's like, the allegations were proven false, you know. And all these message boards and stuff, you'll see a guy saying, I know the victim personally. No, you don't. No, you don't. And I've seen that here at Tillian as well. And, you know, when these kind of things happen, the person that is having these allegations against them, they could double down on it and say they didn't do anything wrong. He's not saying that. And he stepped away from the band. And, you know, I'm not absolving him for what he may or may not have done. If I saw Tillian right now, I would say, you know what, dude, your band needs you. Get your shit together, man. Get your shit together, you know. If I was in a position that he's in, I would be apprehensive about groupie relationships in general. Because, I mean, I would know in my mind they're only there because I'm famous. And you just never know what can happen, you know. And I don't know him. You don't know him. Who knows? He might be a piece of shit, or he might just be a guy going through a hard time. He just lost his bandmate, and, you know, I don't think we should be in a big hurry to crucify this guy. And for the sake of the band, I hope, as a fan of this band, that they get through this stuff, and he gets through whatever he's going through, or whatever his character flaws are that cause these allegations against him, and that they come back with this lineup. And I think that's what a true fan of this band would want. You get a lot of people on the internet that when drama happens, it seems like they want a band to fail, or they want somebody to go down. And it's just that innate need for drama, or to make yourself look good, or make yourself look like a white knight. Like everybody sees through you. While, you know, it's shitty what's going on, and, you know, he's admitted fault, and whatever he's done, you know, I don't think we should be in a big hurry to crucify the guy. What do you want him to do? You want him to kill himself? Like, he's admitting he's done something wrong here. He stepped away from the band, and he's working his shit out. So, you know, we don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know any of these people. All I know is these guys have made great music through the years, you know, and Will and John and Matt have been the core of this band from day one. And I just really hope that they get this lineup back because, they'll need a new bassist, obviously, but I hope they get a new bassist and they get Tillian back and that they keep on keeping on because this is the best music they've ever made, Mothership and onward. Like, I used to think back in the day there was no way this band was going to be good without Johnny. And I was wrong about that, man. I would much rather see them continue with Tillian than go back to Johnny. I think Amorosa needs Johnny. That's just my opinion, though. I think they did a good job here. This is a great final work for Tim Ferrick to have his name on. I'm very interested in seeing these live performances that they've been doing with Andrew at the helm, because I've never been too familiar with Andrew's vocals outside of like Evaporate and stuff that he's done with this band here, like here and there. But hearing his vocals here, man, he's great. He's great. He's not like Tillian, but Tillian is such a good vocalist, but hearing his style of vocals for 18 tracks straight, like, I would have liked to hear Andrew a little bit more for a little bit more of a change. If you're going to have an 18-track album, you're going to have more variety. And this album was just kind of them doing what they do. There wasn't a whole lot of variety, but, there's at least a good 12, 13 tracks that I'm always going to go back to on here. So, great job to Dance Gavin Dance. And that's all I really got to say, guys. Thanks for watching.